Hey guys, it's Kelly from kellymlibby.com. I'll try to keep the sun out of your eyes. So, we just finished our 7-day Boost Your Vibe immersion. Sun here. And just a few days ago, well, it's probably a week ago, maybe a little bit more. And I want to share this with you because it comes up for so many people, even if you were not in the immersion. This is so important to know when we're talking about personal growth, when we're talking about changing and being able to sustain momentum. And I posted a little video about this the other day, but I wanted to talk about another aspect that keeps us kind of like always coming back to where we started, or keeps us, we go up into this really expanded state and then something happens and all of a sudden we drop right back down to the bottom. And it's like we feel like we can't get ourselves back up. We can't get ourselves back up to that kind of like nice expanded place that feels so good. So maybe when you did one of the activated meditations, you notice how in your truth and in your body and in your big self you felt, and then something happened that pulled you right back down, and you went from thinking big and being inspired and having inspired ideas and big ideas to maybe then when you drop back down, not even being able to think past your to-do list, the to-do list that you've been following for the past 10 years, 5 years, year, or 30 years, where life has just always been the same day in and day out and day in and day out. So let me tell you what that thing is that's happening. What happens is when we increase our vibration, meaning we're completely changed in that moment, and then we go back into an environment where our vibration has been habitually something else, that's when our habitual way that we run our energy sends us right back down, so to speak, to the level that we were before. And that can be because of people that you're around, a place where you're working, a place where you're living, things that you're doing, right? Because as you change, everything you do is going to change. The people you hang out with are going to change. The habits you have on a daily basis, the way you take care of yourself, who you associate with, the places that you go, the jobs that you do are all going to change because your vibration is changing. And so naturally, what you're attracted to and what's attracted to you is going to change. And people specifically will have this effect on us, specifically the people who we have been around for a long, long time. So this is your family of origin, your family, your friends that you've had for a long time. Maybe if you worked in the same place for a long time, we have a way that we are with them that we've been for a long time. And that way that we show up, that box that we're in, so to speak, in that relationship with them is smaller than where you are when you're in your meditation, when you're in that heightened place, when you're standing in your strength and in your power and in more of your fuller capacity. And then we go back and all of a sudden we go home, or we're with these people, we visit family or friends or something, and we like instantly go back to the version that we were, and it feels like crap. And it feels like crap because you're feeling the contrast between here and that smaller version of you. And sometimes it can be very hard to break that cycle if you don't know that it's happening. And this is why we have these, we are like this in our personal growth. It's like we feel great and then we're dropped back down to nothing. We feel great and then we're dropped back down to nothing. And then eventually it seems like, well, it's too hard because I can't sustain even 24 hours in this state. And so I give up. And this is what happens to people. And so to move beyond that, there's a couple of things you have to do. One, you've got to create a container for yourself. And this is what was built into the 7-day vibe, Boost Your Vibe immersion, was building a container for yourself, creating time for yourself, creating a sacred space for yourself, choosing to do different things during the day, like even just driving to work differently or doing things in a different order, moving out of habituation. There were different foods that I suggested to incorporate into your diet, and things to leave out for a while, because certain foods have an effect on our vibe. TV that we watch, music that we listen to, people who we allow into our space, into our home, conversations that we have. We've we really have to adjust all of that so that we can create a container that nourishes what we're trying to do. And if we don't do that, and the people that you're around aren't doing any sort of personal growth, it can be somewhat of a challenge to continue on your own path if you don't create those parameters for yourself, that sacred space and those boundaries to do the work, and to only allow into your experience things that nourish your vibe. And I understand if some of that's out of your control, but you have a lot more control over it than you think that you do. One is just being aware that it's happening, okay? Two, when it happens and you feel yourself shrinking back, we only shrink back because there's part of us that's afraid. Okay, if I'm big and expansive, there's part of you that's going to feel very vulnerable. Like, oh my God, they're going to ridicule me, they're going to reject me, they're going to think I'm silly, I'm stupid, who am I to be this big, I'm going to lose them, and I can only stay with my family or with my friends if I'm small like them and commiserate with them, and we all stay the same. So there are these internal fears that run silently in the nervous system that keep us shrinking back. And when you can become aware of it, then you can change it, and you can choose to override those patterns. Some of those patterns can be so strong, and the trigger so strong that it can be a challenge also just to override it. And so then we have to go in and say, okay, what is the actual thing that's happening? What am I afraid of? And we do some sort of mind-body work to clear that out. And this actually is all worked into my Unleash program, my signature program. I work this work into that so that we don't have constant backlashes every time we start to do our work. And by doing that, we can sustain momentum. And I wanted to bring this up because Unleash begins, round 3 begins in about 2 weeks. And I'll post more of it, but I just want to give you the heads up that all of this is worked into that program, and that's how thorough it is to help you actually get the results that you need, because we need support. It's hard to do this on our own. We need a support system, people who are doing the same things that we are doing, who are working towards the same level of expansion that we're working on. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to sustain for sure. So I want to share that with you. Any questions, comments, feedback, I invite you to post here, because a lot of people are going to have the same questions. A lot of people experience the same things. So I really welcome you to share and to consider this when you're doing your growth, because I don't want you to get discouraged. Discouraged thinking it's never going to change, it's not easy to change. As long as you understand the mechanisms that are at work in the nervous system and in the brain, then you can change it. So now, I told you, so now you can make some awesome choices and keep supporting yourself and keep doing your work, because as you do the work, you're giving other people energetic permission to go and pursue their own growth, right? We don't all have to stay small together. We're not doing anybody any service by doing that. So that's all. Join me at www.kellymlibby.com and watch my feed for upcoming information about Unleash. Oh, and if you want to still do the 7-day immersion, you can still have access to that. Just go to my website, go under shop, and you can download everything there. And that's all. Bye, guys.